This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, Loco sports fans, we got a full house tonight, and even more friends waiting in the green room. Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr, along with Jeremy Orr, our new Team Loco student contributor from Estill, and headed to USCB in a couple short weeks. He was out at Hampton County Football Media Day today, so he's got a report on that, and he'll tell us about that today. And Marcus Walsh is somewhere in the darkness. Marky Mark being driven. Oh, he's smiling. You can see him there. He is. Marky
the
Mark
pearly
in the
white's
dark,
going.
riding alongside the Funky Bunch tonight for the Loco Sports Lowdown on a Friday night in the Loco. And we've got a great friend, an old friend of ours, going back to the before times, way before the last thing we covered before COVID, Wes. You remember it? It was Nick Pringle and the Whale Branch Warriors in the state championship game up in Columbia. Nick Pringle going to join us on the show here in just a few minutes and tell us about his journey, talk about his journey, but tell us about his Treys for Trey basketball camp that's going off again this year. And he was, as you noted the other night, Wes, one of our earliest interviews, student athlete interviews, maybe our first student athlete interview on the show, and then came on to promote the very first Treys for Trey camp. And we've been friends with him ever since. So looking forward to talking with him. And how you boys doing? Everybody holding up all right? It's hot.
Yeah,
It
is August 1st. Football season, all sports is here, and I'm just really pumped to get things going in 2 weeks as we get started with some Friday night kickoffs in a couple of weeks from now. But ramping up, we got practices underway, and the high school league started yesterday. So
they got the helmets. They got the first couple days with helmets in. So I think it's one more day in helmets, and then they get to go to the shoulder pads, and then we're off and running. So it's time. As you noted, Skiza, a bunch of Skiza teams will get started in 2 weeks. So we just have one more Friday night without football, and then it's on for quite some time. So looking forward to that. And our coverage of Hilton Head Christian Academy, of course, will be sponsored by Mickelson Law Firm, which is our presenting sponsor of the Loco Sports Lowdown, our all-star sponsor. They've been with us since the beginning, back in 2017, when I had this crazy idea to start Loco Sports. It's evolved over the years, but Mickelson Law Firm's been with us every step of the way, and they continue to support us. So thanks to our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, Mickelson Law Firm. And tonight they present a very special guest to us as Nick Pringle joins us on the show for, I don't know, third or fourth time. What's going on, my man? Long time no see. You been all right?
Yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. I mean, we've all stayed in the same place here. You've been bouncing around a little bit since we pinned you down and got to talk to you. But you're now an Arkansas Razorback, and you have to be excited about the opportunity to go out there where, I mean, you've already experienced it. I'm sure they are crazy about the Hogs out there. It's the only game in town, and the whole area is just wild about it. It's a beautiful growing area, a beautiful campus in Fayetteville. That when I visited it as a high school kid, I thought twice about wanting to go there. So I'm sure you're excited to go out there and play for John Calipari, who definitely has a track record of getting guys ready for the NBA. So, just tell us a little bit about the decision to finish up out there and how excited you are for the opportunity.
Starting, going to South Carolina, it was, just amazing to be able to, go to be home in general, just to be around family, have that love and support. That's something I felt like I didn't have, at Bama. I mean, I had, fans and family, as in teammates and, family, parents, stuff like that. But it wasn't, my family all the time, so, and that's something that I kind of want. So I wanted to, come back home and, I thought it was my last year. So, I was going to go out with a bang. I mean, we didn't have the best year, but, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful to be around the people that was there, the people that I met, and still, I'm forever a Gamecock still, so I'm still excited about the journey, how the transfer portal stuff work. It's been, people bouncing around and stuff like that. But, I sat down, with the head coach, and, me and him had a man-to-man conversation, and how, the NIL stuff is. And, we just try to come to, good terms of, what was my next move and what would be best for my future. And, I think hitting the portal was, one of the best things, I possibly could do. So I wanted to give myself another opportunity to, flourish in a system that I feel like benefits me, a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm just excited, just to be a part of a team like, Arkansas, with the head coach is John Calipari. So I mean, it's exciting, and just in the recruitment process, I had a lot of heat, man. A lot of teams hit me up, from UCLA to Ole Miss, NC State, pretty much every team in the SEC besides a few.
Wow.
But I mean, even Auburn. I mean, like Auburn hit me up. I'm like, man, no, I can't do that, bro. Everybody in Alabama hate me, man. So it was a journey for sure. And I mean, I definitely met a lot of good people. I had a lot of real conversation with coaches, and that's something that I wanted, in my NIL, process, in the transfer portal process. I wanted to leave the business side to my agents and stuff like that, and connect with the coach myself to see, who will best, fit me. And it came down to about Ole Miss and Arkansas and UCLA, and I mean, we went from there. And you have Kenny Payne over there, man. That's a legend as an assistant. Um, it's a lot of guys, man. Coach Chin. I mean, it's just a lot of guys on the staff, man. Tyler Lewis. I mean, it's a lot of guys that you just can learn from. People that have been a part of different systems. They've been around good people, so that's the greatest people to be around and learn from.
I just want to know how much things have changed since you came out of Whale Branch. I mean, as far as thinking about your recruitment and the way it was then, and you were clawing to get on the radar of some D1 programs and stuff, and the NIL wasn't even a thing,
right?
And now by the time you finish, you basically got set up with a free agent year. In the most lucrative time to be a free agent college athlete with a resume ever. I mean, it was anything was on the table. So, have you reflected on how crazy it is to think how much the world has changed in your 5-6 years of college hoops?
Yeah, man, it's honestly been a journey. I mean, especially starting from high school. My mom always gave me opportunity to go to Columbia, play for bigger school, this and that. But I always wanted to stay around my guys, from Buford, So I mean, I feel like I made the most out of that, and did what I could, and I got my 5 or 6 offers, and went off of that, and my opportunity at Wofford, was great. I didn't, necessarily do what I need to do there, not academically, not, on the court. So, I had to go the JUCO route, and, that was tough on me, especially, thinking I was going to let my city down, things like that, a lot of pressure on my back being one of the only guys in college, so I was still young. I mean, I still had a lot to learn. So it was definitely an experience, and JUCO definitely, taught me probably the most I learned. I mean, I think it gave me, that dog mentality, get it how it is, I think that brought the aggressiveness, out of me. It brought the man out of me, more being away from home and being around different people I didn't really know, but, having to, get it how you could. I mean, because it was tough. We was on a good team. We had a great year, 30-5. It was great. I mean, I had like 20-25 offers and like two JUCO tournaments. Like it was cool, man. It was surreal. But Bama came around, and I love Bama play style. They played fast. Nados was a good coach and up and coming, and I mean that's something I wanted to be a part of, and I enjoyed my 2 years there. Me,
Got to play in the
I had
Final Four.
everybody, have ups and downs. I had my problems there, but you're still grooming at the end of the day. You can sit down, talk it out. Still have a relationship to this day. But I always wish the best for him. But that was an exciting journey. I think Bama was definitely another place I learned a lot, met a lot of good people. Just learned a lot on the business side. I wasn't really fascinated with the NIL stuff coming out of JUCO. So I mean, I kind of went with the flow. I didn't really demand money and stuff like that. I just wanted to win. I wanted to be a part of something great, and I feel like I have. We went to the Sweet 16 my first year. Had Brandon Miller, had Noah Clowney, two draft picks, just being around draft picks and stuff like that. Like that's something exciting. That give you motivation. A lot of people ask me, why do I get upset, or from being in college for a long time, seeing a lot of people that I'm close to go do what I want to do. But like, nah, like that motivates me more, and that's how I want people at home feeling, about me. Like I'm not where I want to be at, but I'm not where you want to be. So everybody still got room to work for something. So I just do the best I can to just create the best image, for people at home, and try to give back as much as I can. I mean, I know I haven't in the past few years, but I was learning, I was building, I was trying to figure out what was the best things to do. But I did small things here and there, but it was nothing ever big. But I wanted to do something big this year, so I'm just excited about
through it all, you have continued to participate and lead the Treys for Trey program, which I remember you talked about in our very first interview back in your senior year at Whale Branch.
Yeah.
And you've continued to stick with it up to this day. And just talk about what that event, what that opportunity means for you, and most importantly for this community, and what will we expect from the 2025 edition of Treys for Trey.
Man, it's gonna be real. It's gonna be big time. I mean, like, with this being, behind my brother's name, I want to do the most for it. So, I wanted to make it even bigger. I want to, start an AAU team one day. I want to do a lot like behind his name.
Wow.
So, but with this, honestly, it's gonna be big, man. We're gonna start at 10 o'clock. We're gonna have the skills camp first. It's gonna end at 12. We're gonna do a lot of stuff. We're gonna bring a lot of guys back that played. You're gonna bring a lot of my homeboys, a lot of people that's familiar faces. So the kids are comfortable and stuff like that. So, and then afterwards from 12 to 4, we're gonna have like a back to school bash for the whole community. Anybody can come. We're gonna have vendors out there. We're gonna have raffles, games, just a lot of stuff for kids to do. Even we'll bring out some speakers, for just people to section off and go into what they want to do in their career. We're gonna have a basketball player, maybe a barber, maybe somebody that do some clothing stuff. So I think it's gonna be really big. It's a big turnout. We actually had like I think we had like almost 100 in like 3 days, 100 kids. So we capped it. We ended up capping it at 1:30 to get all the jerseys in, to put the orders in and stuff like that. So we want to have this thing big. I mean, I wish I had the jerseys picture to send you to show how the jersey will actually look. But man, it's gonna be big time. I'm excited. I mean, I got my family involved. I collaborated with my cousin. He has a PST brand, Persistence 217, dedicated to my brother as well. So I mean, I wanted to collab with him. So you'll see the PST brand logo behind, my Trey logo. So I wanted to collaborate with him, try to help build his brand. I also have my cousin. She's a new into the marketing, so she's actually promoting it, and I'm trying to help her build. So I'm trying to keep it in the family, and just make the most out of everything in the community, and give back to the kids as much as I can. So I mean, I'm very appreciative of Well Brands giving back and helping me as well with this, allowing me to use their facilities, and I mean, I'm just excited, So
awesome, man. What do you need from the community to help this go off? Are you looking for donations of supplies still, sponsors, just people to show up at this point? What needs to happen?
really, the biggest thing that I don't even want to ask for donations or supplies. Like, that's cool. Y'all can bring it. I mean, y'all welcome to, but really, it's just the showing. Like, I want y'all to come and support. I want us to start using each other. Get familiar with each other. Have conversations. Talk to different people. Learn. Like, I want people to come from Hardyville. I want people to come from Bluffton. I want people involved. Like, I don't want people to think it's just a Buford or Seabrook thing. Like, I want people to come and just to be involved in something that's from the heart, because that's it's meant from the heart for me. That's where I'm from. I literally live, 5-minute walk down the road, literally. So I mean, I'm just excited to just see the turnout, man, because 127 kids, like that's crazy. Like I'm excited about it. From going from 53 Like that's crazy. That's gonna be a big turnout. But I mean, I just like looking at the families behind all those kids, I just know like it's gonna be, big time. So I mean, I'm go ahead.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, what does it mean for you to be that mentor, that leader, that driving force for this next generation of kids for you to tell them that you can achieve your goals here at Seabrook, here at Whale Branch, here in the Low Country, and if you put your best foot forward, you can achieve whatever your aspirations are. What does it mean to them for you to be that living example of what is possible here in the Loco?
It means everything to me, literally. I mean, like I said, it's where I'm from. Um, I just want to see. I just want everybody to have somebody to look up to. Somebody that's doing good. I feel like it's a lot of distractions in our area. There's a lot of things to get into that's not good. So I mean, I feel like they need that, that push, that drive, somebody to actually talk to them, be face to face. I'm even trying to get, Coach Cal to come out here, just to give some more, inspiration, to the community. Like this can happen to you for real. Like, but you got to put the work in. Like I want to get that real talk. I want to, be vulnerable to them. Just telling my experiences, what not to do, what. I'm gonna have D Delaney there. I'm gonna have Raul Owens there. I'm gonna have guys that
Yeah.
been through some
Oh, yeah.
stuff. So I mean, I just want this to be a great turnout. Like, and I want I'm gonna have vendors. I'm gonna have clothing vendors. People that come out with jewelry, beads. I'm gonna see if people can. My cousin he might cut hair. Just anything we can do to bring everybody together.
Heck
Are you
yeah,
thinking
man.
about doing stuff like this, in terms of after college? What are the next steps, and what are you thinking about doing as far as working after you graduate?
Well, after I'm graduating, I'm definitely, testing the waters, trying to, make it to this league. I mean, there's really
Got it.
no plan. It's no plan B, but I know I got, a foundation already set to where, if things, hit the fan, I got a lot of, other things that I can get into, other things that I can start. You got money saved up, you know, from past years. Just trying to be smart with everything that I do, every move that I make, just try to, find little investments and stuff like that. And just continue to do stuff like this because I mean,
Awesome.
it means the most to me to give than than to take, honestly. So
I mean, do you remember what I told you you were gonna do someday?
I can't remember.
It was years ago, but I said you were going to be our
Yeah.
future South Carolina senator. That's what I told
Oh,
you
absolutely.
once upon a time. But
Yes.
I said if you want to be, if that's what you decide you want to be. But
Yeah.
no, man, it's been awesome. Wes and I interviewed you back when you were in high school, and to watch you over the years and watch you go through the trials, go
Yeah.
through the trials of life and come through it stronger every time. And it's a lot of eyes on you. It's a lot of I know you feel it. I feel it for
Yeah.
you, so I know you feel it. When you would slip up, when you would have a rough day and on national television, like I felt it
Yeah.
for you, but you always came out of it stronger. And we have no doubt that you're going to have a great year out in Arkansas and continue to do great things after, whether it's on the basketball court or not, man. But are you at home in the Low Country now, or are you back back
I'm
out
actually in
west,
Columbia. I'm in Columbia right now.
Mhm.
chilling in
I'll be back.
Columbia
I'll be
right
back
now?
that way tomorrow though.
Right on, man.
Talk
So
to me
the
about
camp on August the 16th, 2 Saturdays from tomorrow, and of course the back to school drive. What do you got going on the rest of the summer before you kick off for Arkansas?
Really just take a trip or two. Just hang with family, honestly. 'Cause that's what I really want to do the most. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Get ready for the camp. And yeah, keep working.
yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I just going back to what's coming up for you. Obviously, the Treys for Trey event, but then you're going to be a Razorback, and I mean, how much are you looking forward to this one more opportunity to show yourself at the college level, and not just that, playing for an elite program with one of the biggest names in terms of basketball coaching in the past few decades. I mean, that's got to be such a well-deserved honor and opportunity for you.
Man, when I got the call, I was excited. I mean, it wasn't the first call, but when I got it, I was like, man, it's getting real. Like, I mean, I never really grew up, watching basketball for real, but I always, heard the name. I always knew who he was. So, I mean, of course, when I got to college, I definitely, tuned into basketball a lot more. So, I mean, just having the opportunity to play for somebody like that, and just see who he is, behind the scenes and not, on camera. And he's a great dude. He's a great person. He's a people's person. He's a player's coach, and that's something and somebody like everybody should want. Like, and I mean, the team that he has, man, like he does a great job recruiting, man. Because this is definitely one of the best teams I feel like I've been around. We got a lot of young guys, a lot of young dogs. Excited, man. I'm very excited about what's going to happen this year. We got a lot of work to still put in. I mean, we had a summer conditioning. Feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. So I'm definitely excited about what he has for us, and trying to get me out of my comfort zone, having me do different things on the court that I haven't been doing in my past. He said everybody's a guard. He wants everybody to play like a guard. Do things that you're not really comfortable doing. Know your strengths, but play for your team, and that's all he's about, playing for your team. He knows he has a lot of 5 stars, a lot of guys with big heads, but his goal is to mesh everybody together, and that's what I love the most. And playing for 3 different coaches in the SEC, you can see all the differences and the pros and cons. And I mean, I feel like I had great coaches. I literally had great coaches. In my past 3 years, man. It was definitely a journey, man. I'm excited, for this year. I'm excited to see what we do, how much work we put in, and see the outcome, at the end. And hopefully we can talk about it again on here, after that.
I mean, you're the only guy that could have gotten me to root for the Razorbacks, because I don't usually be doing that. I was hoping you land them
Yeah.
too, but but I'll pull for the Razorbacks for my guy Nick Pringle for
Yeah.
sure.
I got to
But
show up to a game, man. Pull up to a game. Ain't nothing but hour 30 flight from Charlotte.
yeah. I mean, well, we can always get up
Yeah,
to.
depends on if you have some stops.
You paying for the Lowco road trip to Charlotte here?
Maybe we can talk
You
about
laying out for
that.
the plane tickets?
We
But
can talk about that.
no, man, it's been awesome to watch you go through it. You mentioned Ryle Owens, and he's been making a living playing overseas and getting to
Yeah.
see the world, which you've gotten to see the United States. But if it doesn't go that way for you in the NBA, is that something you'll look at, trying to play the game overseas and get to see a little bit of the world?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I definitely, take a chance to. I mean, if there's no
Yeah.
opportunities in the NBA, I'd definitely be open to, traveling and playing and just getting that vibe. If I don't like it, I know it's other things I want to do. I know I want to give back. I know I want to, get into coaching one day. So maybe that's something else I'll look into. It's a lot of things that I feel like I can get into. Even somebody from CBS. I got friends from CBS that think I'm a good person behind the camera and can talk. So I mean, it's a lot of things that I probably could get into, but I just gotta just take it a day at a time, and just try to aim for my goals first.
Well, you always got a seat here if you want to work on the talking in front of the
I
camera
bet.
thing. We'll always get you in.
Right.
Our new intern Jeremy here, he's from Hampton County, and he went the JUCO route. He was at Salcahatchee the last couple of years, so he knows about
Yeah.
that JUCO grind. He got a front row
Jeremy,
seat for the
Basketball.
basketball team the
Jeremy,
last couple of years.
Jeremy, you got a
He's the
question
broadcaster
for Nick?
for basketball. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
You
Jeremy,
enjoyed it?
you got any questions for Nick?
Yeah, I don't
Putting
think
you
I
on the
do.
spot, man. Putting you on the spot. But I know you were excited about us having on Nick tonight, so I wanted to give you a chance. But yeah,
Definitely,
Jeremy
man.
went the JUCO route. He came from Salcahatchee. He'll be at USCB this year, getting
Okay.
involved broadcasting with the basketball team there. So yeah, another Lowco guy joining Team
Yeah.
Lowco. Good stuff. But well, Nick, thanks so much for spending some time with us tonight, man. And once again, August 16th over at Whale Branch High School. It'll go on from 10 to 12 for the basketball camp, right? And then 12 to 4
Yeah.
for the back to school bash. So if you aren't signed up, they've already had to cap it off. So you missed out this year. but you can bet Nick will be back with the Treys for Trey camp again next summer. And as you said, we'll get you back on the show. We'll get you back on the show to talk about that senior year and what's going to come next this time next year. So take care, man. It's been great to catch up with you, and hope it's not so long before we see you again.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Be well.
Have a good one, Nick. Thanks so much.
All right, see you, Nick.
That's Nick Pringle, now an Arkansas Razorback, which is just still.
He has gone through quite the tour of the SEC. Along these last few years, Alabama, South Carolina now. Woo Pig Suey over in Arkansas.
Like you said, though, think about all the different systems he's played in and all the little wrinkles he's picked up from different coaches on those various staffs. Like, it's been an interesting time, certainly, to be a college basketball player, and he's had one of the more interesting journeys you'll ever find. But he's been instructed by a lot of really great basketball coaches, and I think he's going to be poised for a good career on the court after college.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about it right after wrapping up. I was like, I need to find a way if sure I could find it if I can dig through my computer or through the web. That first interview back to the senior year.
It's got to be around somewhere.
Yeah, I have to dig through the archives and see if I can find that. But would love to hear that.
Yeah, that was a rough one. It'd probably be hard to watch.
Yeah,
as far as the quality.
Yeah, but there's some good stuff in there from him.
Oh yeah,
probably not from us, but from him.
I know you can find the podcast version somewhere buried in the. All right, so good stuff with Nick Pringle. Great to catch up with him. As Carlo noted, Nick's all grown up. He's definitely. Remember, he was like 6 foot his sophomore year.
A breakout summer before his senior year where he really started to get noticed, and then incredibly fun to watch. Got the state championship game, and as you said, that was right before everything got shut down.
Changed. That was so weird. What a weird time.
Sure was.
But we'll shout out some sponsors: Hudson Seafood, Sunsets, and Cocktails on Hilton Head Island. Also, the presenting sponsor from Hilton Head Prep, and into the game of improving your view of the Low Country with Hilton Head Island. Jeremy, we teased it at the top, but you got out to Hampton County today for their little media day event. But tell us about to a practice, obviously, and.
But yeah, they seem to have high spirit. All signs are looking green as far as them trying to bring a state championship back to Hampton. Coach Hannah said that, he has, and Terrell looks to be very calm. He doesn't have any pressure about Terry and Desmond Mathis.
Obviously, every game we want to go, we got a team to beat, and any good seed in playoffs. Hopefully, we'll make it. Which is.
I guess I didn't.
It felt really good after the year. Before we lost those 3 junior defense lining up, that we are really, really sound. Our key as coaches is we've got to develop depth. We're very, very inexperienced there. So, you go to our second left tackle or.
There you go. A little bit from Rob Hanna. And then I know you had some interviews with the players as well. We'll get those out on social media so people can hear from those guys. But and Jordan Bovain, those are big to have, kind of like BJ Payne. He'll kind of lay it out for you and let you know where the problems are on the depth chart. And he seems to feel pretty good.
Know that they win football games, and you can feel that from the entire locker room.
And Hampton, a little bit more familiar with them. They're at this media day that you covered.
Yeah, they just come over and they already had that plan. So we appreciate that. So, and like you said, Jeremy, I mean, that's a big part of it to work because is you might give you a lot of direction about what that assignment is. You might have to kind of pick around and get a little more information.
Like a bunch of questions. And what I learned was that I eventually kind of went built off of it and then even used all the questions. So it was topics about of what you want to mention or ask about, but not specific questions. And then you just kind of go off of how the interview goes, and then you follow up based on what is said you learn about. Yeah. And something that you learn by practicing and just doing it.
Yeah. That's especially true as well. If I can interject, it's especially true as well if you don't have like a really interview with mine at WHHI, I have counting the open and the close within a 5-minute segment. Media day, I was doing the social media beat. So because social media is the way it is, I have even less time than Bob Stevens did with the normal interviews that ran for the news, which mine would air in between 3 to 4 minutes is what I tried to shoot for. So definitely good advice there. And you got to figure out a strategy, but yeah, you always got to think in the back of your mind in case something's mentioned that kind of catches you off guard to not be that.
And I always start general and then if that's a conscious thing, but sort of general question. I think that's a crutch in a way. It allows the source to kind of not in a full question form. It'll just be a one-word note, following the river and going where it leads. And sometimes the mood isn't right to ask, especially if you phrase your questions correctly. You've got to one. So, that's part of the interview and think on your feet, because that way we sometimes have the benefit of being in a throng of reporters. We're back with your recorder and get the goods, but this or whatever. But issue with it, I used to be a hardliner about it. That's not a question. You don't have to ask questions to interview someone. You can just have a conversational way necessary. You want to present a topic and ask them to expound on it, and it's okay to do exactly that. So there are no rules. It's whatever works, whatever keeps it flowing. But for me, it's always more specific and never get boxed into a plan, because that'll mess you up every time. Oh, wait, but I have to ask you this first. No, you don't. You can always circle back. It's fine. But no, good work, man. We'll have some more reporting coming out of Hampton, and I'm getting some video from our intern Lily Mitchell up there. So probably on Monday night or whenever we get together again, we'll check out some video from Colleton. They're waiting. They're coming for Bear too. That's going to be a fun game.
I'll tell you what. I said it before, and I will again. This was when I had a chance to meet Tim and Ray Alonzo when I went to the May River Colleton game with them at Colleton. And yeah, the game ended up going May River's way, and clearly May River was the better team that night in October last year. But Colleton had some plays, and they had a little bit of momentum towards the middle of the game, especially as I recall. And they can do some things. I think they're going to be improved this year too. They have a pretty unique home field environment too, so I think they could win a couple of games at home. Just off of what I saw that night, I'd have to take a look at their schedule again, but they're going to be an improved team.
They have a tough schedule. So the wins losses may not move a lot, even if they are improved. One of those things, but they could be. Like Hampton's one of the ones that kind of need to flip if they're going to have a winning season or something like that. But
they got a good shot.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. I do. I think it'll be solid. But like you said, Hampton's here, and everybody say, "Oh, well, maybe Colleton can get them this year." And I'm sure Colleton's talking. And last time they played at Colleton, they had a sign that said, "At least we have a Walmart." That's the best Hampton dig I ever heard.
Oh my!
Bluffton is the talk of Region 6-4A right now, but y'all should probably just pipe down a little bit and let them play the games before you get talking too much. Especially those of you who don't actually go out and play the games. I wouldn't be talking so much because them boys got to
it's a lot of talking. But I think once they actually go out there and play football, we're going to be in for a show. So
it's gonna be tight. And I was saying it last year too. It's going to be tight with those 4 teams: Bluffton, Hilton Head, May River, and Beaufort. I think Beaufort's going to definitely be improved. Again, having seen those 4 teams at our media day that WHHI hosted a week and a half ago, I'm really excited to see those 4, and we're going to see them multiple times on our schedule. Well, I guess we'll have May River once, but the other 3 we will definitely see multiple times, and it's going to be great.
Well, even though school's about to start and football's about to start, summer baseball still going. The boys of summer, the Hilton Head 10 and under, the minors, playing in the DYB World Series Division I in Lancaster, South Carolina, just up the road. They had their pool play game today, and they smoked Waco, Georgia, which is probably something county. I don't know, because I don't think there's a Waco in Georgia, is it? It's probably something county. But anyway, they smoked them 12-5. Scored 9 in the third to break it open. So big win for Hilton Head in the pool game. They've got Virginia in the first bracket game tomorrow at 2, and then we'll see if they keep going. It goes all the way through Wednesday if necessary. So gonna be a long haul over there in Lexington. It is hot up there, but the Hilton Head Miners 10 and under All Stars.
Yeah,
tabs on them throughout.
It is a certainly an achievement to to still be playing at this point of the year. So yeah, I mean, you're repping your whole state now. You're repping Team South Carolina, so that's a great honor, especially when you're coming in the opening ceremony and you're carrying the flag, South Carolina. It's really special, and so hopefully these kids will really realize how awesome that reward is for getting to that point, and how cool that whole experience is. So I hope they have a great time, and best of luck as they try to bring home a World Series title back to the Low Country, which
they haven't lost yet.
They've not lost yet.
They've been crushing people too.
Yeah, very well. But you just got to keep grinding away, because it is not easy to get to that those last few games. You got to continue to stay true to the process, but take it one game at a time. So
we had them to bring a championship. Yeah, you saw them. I saw them on WHHI.
Company on WHHI the other day. I was in there, was able to give them a business card of mine and greet them on Wednesday when they were talking with Betsy on the news.
Very good, very good. I told Rob we'd get him on before they went, and then the time dried up, but we'll have to get him on when they get back, and hopefully a victorious trip out there.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
You guys come across any other big local news in the last couple of days? I know we're into camp now. I haven't seen any news about Tony, so
that's the big question.
Thomas Hayward.
I was looking, online, trying to take a look at a couple of things at work the other day, and I saw him on the roster. Say what you will, and we're going to have more coverage coming with and I teased this, months ago, but I really want to get more thick into the weeds of the way everything's going to be organized with Play on Sports and Max Preps and all of that. I've got some extra questions for BJ Piling that I'm planning on doing before our first broadcast. Could stick that on a weekend edition of the news or one of the other days, but more info is coming with that. But I did take a look and I saw that Tony was on THA.
All right.
Yeah. Yep. Looks like it. Looks like that's the plan. So Tony will finish it out as a Rebel, and that makes them very much
big time contenders. I'd say
big time difference.
Favorites in 1A. That's a pretty solid bet you would cash if you put it on right there for Thomas Hayward to
win. I'll tell you, after the last time we talked at some length about Tony, Coach Brian tried to call me after the show, and I had it on Do Not Disturb after a certain hour and didn't see it, but talked with him the next morning, and he said, "Man, I told you he was my guy." And I said, and I believed you, and that's why I told everybody that. Now remember, Thomas Hayward says he's still with them, and they were just nonchalant about it. They were like, "Yeah, he's still with us this morning," so they weren't sweating it at all. And so maybe Tony was just messing people around. He's always been kind of mysterious about it. Whenever people started talking, he just let them talk every year after year. You let them talk, and then he went back to Thomas Hayward. So maybe he was just fooling with people.
And I think
in the wind a little.
This might sound a little bit funny to say, but I think in a way that's actually good for him.
I do too.
Because it is getting him focused kind of getting the chatter going, you see it does not affect him at all.
No.
And he's on the straight and narrow. He knows his lane. He knows his lane. I should enunciate a little bit better. He knows where he's gonna be and what he's doing there at THA. His job is to primarily, I mean, he can play defense, he can play quarterback, but his job is to primarily run the football, score touchdowns to help get them victories, which lead to championships. And THA has a ton of them, and a lot of them are because of him.
Yep. So, so that was our big storyline in the preseason. Now it's just kind of wait until they play football because, unless we're going around bird dogging camps, we're not going to learn about injuries and things like that. Primarily until we get to the first week and we start talking to coaches about game previews, and then we might stumble onto something, but we'll mostly be in the dark going about our business. and so will they until we get into it. But we still got another about a week and a half before we really start to get into some major high school sporting events happening as we ease back into it here. So we'll probably keep it to 2-3 days a week for the next couple of weeks, and then we'll start hitting it hard out every night with shows. We'll have thematic shows every night just about. Once we get going, we'll have our Lowco Pigskin preview, and we'll have our Lowco Pigskin live, and we'll try to do a couple of live tailgate shows if we can, if it makes sense to get everybody in one place, or a lot of people at least in one place. And
for the big game,
we got a lot of people going out on the grind this year to help us cover the game. So if you want to get involved, reach out to us and join Team Lowco, just like Jeremy, and we'll get you out to a game on Friday night and give you a role, and we'll cover it together. So I'm looking forward to it, fellas. Let's get into our last round of sponsors, and then we'll give our parting thoughts and coast into the weekend. We got Base Hit Life, our baseball and softball themed apparel sponsor. If you want to look your best on the diamond and live your best base hit life this year, get to basehitlife.com. Dr. Ambrose Cole is your official chiropractor of LowcoSports. Find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right in mind, body, and spirit. Reverence Wrestling Club, the official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. They've been grinding over there all summer, and we're looking forward to another great winter of wrestling in the Lowco. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country will get your floors so clean your feet will thank you. And Jay's Barbershop is the place to get lined up over in Ridgeland. But it's a good spot to hang out whether you need a haircut or not. Great conversation, great people at Jay's Barbershop. Where you get lined up, Jeremy?
I actually go to New Image here down here in Estill. Lady cuts my hair. Her name is Miss Jennifer Redmond. Yeah, she cuts me. But well, I'm gonna have to be. I'm moving in about 2 weeks, so I'm looking for a new barber as we speak because I'm not coming down here every 2 weekends to get a haircut. So
there you go. Well, you probably don't want to go to Ridgeland either, but we'll have to find you one closer to USCB. But Jeremy, you want to bat lead off here? You got a parting thought for us?
Parting thought: the Yankees beat the Mariners today.
Oh yeah, you're a Yankees guy.
Yeah.
What do you think they're gonna do with with Judge not being able to play the outfield? Can you really stick Stanton out there?
We made a whole bunch of moves as that trade deadline hit, and we acquired so many pitchers. I still think that we still have like an extra gear we can kick it into. But I think we'll kind of breeze through the rest of the regular season once Judge gets back. Make sure he gets back 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it happens with
what? They're celebrating in Cleveland, Marcus.
I saw it was 2-0.
Yeah, Sox
Cleveland just walked off the Twins. So what
was the final there, JJ?
3-2.
Back to tie it. Good deal. I listened to all of about 10 minutes today.
Yeah.
But
looks like Manzardo may have been.
Oh yeah, Kyle Manzardo.
Manzo.
Plus, you got a parting thought?
Go ahead.
Find a new barber closer to USCB for Sheridan Park area from time to time. Might get you in to see my guy Darius at Barbers of the Low Country in Sheridan Park possibly. So they're going to be helping us all. Real quick, thanks for the memories, Shane Bieber, the Tommy John and whatnot. But wish him all the best in Toronto. Big win, as JJ just said tonight. Thank goodness they did not trade Steve set the team back quite a ways. He's their best outfielder. Not the greatest hitter in the lineup, but he's their best outfielder and their second best player overall. And I tell you what, Kyle Manzardo is creeping up the list to being in the top on that team right now. And then I meant to do this the other day. It's fit to give a shout out to Lauren Smiley, who was our WA. I don't know if you had a chance to talk today over on the social media beat. Record was terrific. She did some production stuff. She did a little bit of on air. She made phone calls to try to set things up with various things that needed done at the station. And she even dabbled a little bit in her time at the station with sales too. And she's going to be great at the next level wherever she decides to go. She's got one more year at South Carolina. She just moved back and is all set there. And today was officially her last day with us, although she was working from home the majority of the week. So thank you, Lauren, for everything. It was great to get to work with you, and I ended up working with her quite a bit. And to have her help me out at Media Day was terrific. I see big things for the future of Lauren Smiley, and yes, her last name is very fitting because she smiles.
Always has a smile on her face.
Always has a smile on her face. Thanks,
not
Lauren.
so fast here, Jeremy. The Yankees are tied at 9 in the bottom of the 7th. The Marlins scored 4 in the 5th and 5 in the 7th, and have tied it at 9. So don't count that one in the win column just yet, my friend. Wes, you got a parting thought?
Walked off the Houston Astros.
Right. There you go.
I got one local.
What you got?
Fine. Okay, I can kind of summarize it. Parting thought, because I heard that they tried to kind of discuss the classification setup for not this year, but the next cycle, starting in 2026 and into 2028. So currently, of course, in 5A they have the two separate, classifications. The top, like one Division 2, something like that. No longer be the case. They will condense the 5A schools together as they're planning to do starting cycle. So I like that better. Compared to what they've done in terms of splitting it in 24 as well. There's also a debate hearing from Lou Bezjak from the state saying talk potentially for a six class setup. So basically 3 tiers and then splitting up each one, something around those lines, which not quite sure, but not quite sure how that would have played out. But yeah, it'll be 5 classifications, 1A through 5A, and the multiplier is going to stay, I believe. So what basically the multiplier does is a student who's out of state counts as 3. So that multiplier will be used again.
Out of district. Yeah.
Yes, out of district. I'm saying out of state, out of district. Yeah. So that's basically how it'll work. So very similar, but I like the decision to go back to the 5 classifications of like splitting the 5A into Division 1, Division 2. I wasn't really in favor of that setup, but I understand why.
Yeah. I've never loved when we give more trophies to the bigger schools, but I don't know. There's
no one.
I don't know what's the difference between having 6 classifications and having 5, but one of them has 2 divisions. Like,
why don't you make them 6A at this point?
I don't know. Maybe 6 classifications is the way to go. Yeah. It's hard to comment without seeing the actual numbers on like a plot graph and seeing where the clusters are. Right. That's kind of what you want to try to divvy it up so that you don't have big gaps in the same classification, and you can never get it exactly right. It doesn't seem. You could if you like gerrymandered, enrollment at high schools, but nobody wants you to do that. Yep. So it is what it is. It's an imperfect system, but they strive to get it the best they can every 2 years. And this is a testament to the idea that they tried something, people didn't like it, so they're going back. That's why it's only a 2-year deal.
Right. That's why they make it a 2-year cycle because things will change quickly, and so you don't want to lock yourself to one specific idea in a very much changing landscape in terms of what high school athletics is on even a year-to-year basis. So that's why you think about what went right, we think about what could be changed, and that's how it works. And I think they did a fine job, especially the multiplier. I thought was a terrific idea, and as something I've been talked about for a while, and I feel like it's serving its purpose so far to level the playing field, which is really the end goal is what you want to do with the whole realignment. You want to make it as level as possible for all the schools.
Yeah, exactly. You just want competitive. That's the goal. I was trying to see if I had a parting thought here. I haven't seen a whole lot lately, but yeah, we already touched on all of that. I'm kind of coming up empty, boys. I ain't got much. Cubs won today, 1-0. People said they didn't do enough at the break, but I thought they did all right. They got a righty and a lefty for the pen. They got a swing man, and they got a good utility man.
You don't always have to go big the deadline.
No, you don't got to shake it up that much when the lineup's solid.
Well, if you're right near the top of the National
League. They did more
League,
than the Brewers, and
right. I mean, the Padres went all in. And you look at what the Phillies and the Mets did in terms of a lot of teams, not schools, a lot of teams really bolstered their bullpens, the back end, like the 7th, 8th inning guys. I feel like that was
very few starters moved. It was a lot of relievers, and then the Mariners with the big splash getting Eugenio, bringing him home.
Tell you what, they're making a run for it.
They are.
They winning.
A lot of teams are, which is exciting.
And I think the wild card really plays into that with more playoff teams, more teams are in it, so it makes it.
Well, especially if you kind of get off to a slow start, but then you get hot going into the All-Star break, and then you win a few coming out, and you're like feeling your oats, and you think, well, maybe we got something here.
Right.
But I think it's better when more teams are buying.
Yeah, I like the 5-team wild. I like the previous format before this one with the 1-game playoff.
I did too. Yeah. I like that the best. Yep. I like that the best. That was my favorite one. But it's cool. It's cool. I don't know. I wish we could figure out how to make the buys beneficial. It doesn't seem like they are. Or make the buys more beneficial, I guess, for the top 2 seeds.
Yeah.
Which would maybe just be making those one-game playoffs, but then you got a division champ in a 1-game playoff, and that doesn't seem so fair. So I'm like you, Wes. I think I like the 5-team with the 2 teams
because it really rewarded you winning the division, and I thought that was really important.
And it was only one day, and then it also meant that they had to use their best pitcher in that 1-game situation, their best available pitcher. So it gave a real advantage to the top seed when they got to face a team that had just had to use all the pitching they had to use to win the game, and probably their closer and maybe the back end of their bullpen. So I think that was my favorite format as well, but I don't know that we'll get back there. They're not contracting the number of playoff games.
Yep. Well, maybe there's a better way to do it in the future, and making the buys more meaningful, or we'll see if they expand it further, or maybe 14.
I like the idea of making those teams play like a Skiza type series where you play the double header on day 1, and then if necessary the next day. But I don't know. I'm crazy like that. All right, boys. Well, let's call it a night because I'm tired. It's been a long week. Being back at school, and students come back Monday. You Beaufort County students get to wait a couple extra days, and poor Jeremy has to just wait 2 more weeks before he gets to move into his dorm. He can't wait. But thanks, boys. Thanks to all of our sponsors, especially the OG's Mickelson Law Firm, jumping in with us tonight. Great to talk with him. Great to see him doing well. Treys for Trey camp. That's an awesome thing. Remembering his brother, the late Trey Pringle. Rest in peace, brother. And thanks to all of you guys. Best wingmen in the business. Check out social media for more on that. For Marcus Walsh and Jared, till next time. Go Lowco.
LowcoSports Lowdown Podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.